You're in the midnight hour with Dr. Brandyn Chaos.
When I was young, I was just like you. I lost my innocence, but I found the truth. It wasn't love, it was something new. I'm changing, rearranging. You'll understand when you see what I've done. It's beautiful what I have become. I am the storm on the setting sun. I'm changing, rearranging.
To the Midnight Hour. I am Brandyn Chaos. Got another great episode for you this week. We've got Shaun McCoy from the band Bobaflex calling in here in a little bit. Going to talk to him about the tour that they're currently on. They have the day off in Florida today, so got a chance to talk to him about that. And then they're going to be heading back this way pretty soon. They're actually going to be ending their tour at the Empire Concert Club over in Akron, Ohio. So I'm hoping to catch that show, go out and see the guys, and maybe even possibly do a in-person interview that day. Maybe. We'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and get Shaun on the phone.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its scenes when I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. I turn my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Folks say I am too unknown. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sun flashed out its morning in the words that it was forming. And the words of the prophets were written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound.
All right, we've got Shaun McCoy on the line right now. He's the lead singer of Bobaflex. How you doing today, Shaun?
Doing great, man. I'm staying out of the cold weather. We're in sunny Florida down here.
That must be nice. I'm in Ohio right now, and it's cold.
Oh, yeah, that's where I live in Ohio, so I was glad to get out of there.
Oh, you live in Ohio? I didn't know that.
Yep, right outside of Columbus.
Okay, cool. So you guys are on the road right now.
Yes, sir.
How's the tour been so far? I know you guys kind of just
It's
started.
been great, man. It's hit all Florida shows, and we do our last one tomorrow and start heading north slowly. We'll do Arkansas, Tennessee, Virginia, and make our way up to state of New York and then back down through Pennsylvania. So we'll actually hit some cold spots here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, that's no fun, being in the cold.
Especially loading at 3 a.m. That's when it's really not cool.
Yeah.
We moved up a little bit. We kind of skipped that. We got just enough crew members that we kind of don't have to load.
Yeah.
So we're moving up in the rock world.
So let's talk a little bit about how the band got started.
Okay.
How did you guys end up meeting each other?
Well, my brother, we were born together, so that helped. And
Yeah.
we played together in high school. And then the rest of the guys, Tommy's our original drummer. He grew up on the same block. So basically in high school, we had multiple bands and kind of lived in the same area. And I went to Marshall University in the 90s. And once I was a senior, I realized I didn't want to work in advertising the rest of my life. My brother went to college too. So we ditched college and started a band to play on the weekend. And it progressed and got record deals and got on big tours with Megadeth and Mudvayne, and been doing it ever since. Just the original members are me, Marty, and Tommy, and our lead guitarist, Dave Tipple's been in the band 3 years, and our new bass player's been in the band about 2 years. So
you guys have a pretty stable lineup then.
Anymore. Yeah. We went through 4 guitar players.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, this guy's here to stay, man. He's likes to drink, he's a womanizer, and he really enjoys
so he fits in with you guys then.
It's cut out for him, so.
So are you guys working on any new music right now?
Absolutely. As soon as we get off this, we played 153 shows this year, which is the most we've played in our career in 1 year.
Wow.
So we're kind of proud of that travel number. And then so in January, we played everywhere in America twice, so we had nowhere to go for a while. So we had to, January we're taking off. I think we're doing like a week in Michigan. And then we're just rehearsing for January, February, and then at the end of February, we're releasing a new single. It's a cover. I cannot tell you what it is yet, but we're very excited about it, and we're starting a radio campaign and hitting all our major markets from here to Boise, Idaho for about a 5-week tour starting in March.
Okay.
And we'll be pushing a new single, and the EP will probably follow up either June or August. But we're going to start promoting it early and start the single in February.
Nice. And
we're fired up about that.
Speaking of covers, you guys did a cover a few years back of Sound of Silence, which is probably one of your bigger hits, I would say, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
How did you feel when the Disturbed version of that came out?
I instantly thought, well, we could take that out of the set list now. I was a little disappointed because theirs got really big, and people weren't familiar with the band would think that maybe we got the idea from them, even though we did it. Actually, we actually recorded it 5 years ago, like in 2011, I think. So a little disappointed, but actually David Dreaman gave us some props on Twitter, and believe it or not, it helped us out with some YouTube money because all of our YouTube videos went up, including Sound of Silence. So it kind of gave us some exposure. A lot of people were tweeting David Dreaman or Disturbed and just telling, our fans are kind of a little bit catty about it, should I say, and reposted the song on their websites and various social media for Disturbed fans to hear it. So it actually helped us a little bit.
Yeah. I've actually seen
bucks off of it, but
I've seen social media arguments over which version's better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It got pretty thick there for a minute.
Yeah, it keeps things interesting though,
Yeah. They kind of pushed us to do a new cover. We try to do one every so many years and move on. Because some fans want, and we'll break it out on some set lists, but do it. It's almost like it's their song now,
Yeah.
So we play it from time to time for fan requests, but we're kind of moving on from it.
Yeah. Well, I saw you guys earlier this year in Kent, Ohio. I can't remember if you guys played that song or not. Trying to remember.
It's been on the set list for a while. We may not have.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, that was a fantastic show that you guys did.
Thank you.
Definitely have a great live show. And I got to talk to you guys a little bit outside. You guys are a great group of guys. You guys were hanging out with the fans all night, which was really cool.
Yeah, we try to mix it up with fans and shake hands and kiss babies after every show, and it really helps out when when you're that personable with your fans. It really helps when you release something because it's kind of crazy. We played 153 shows, but I couldn't tell you how many people I knew on a first name basis that are fans.
Yeah,
from here to California, it's insane.
Well, that's good. It's a great thing when bands get close to their fans like that. Yep.
It means a lot to them, and they do a lot for you, and it's just good overall. I've seen other bands, and I'm not going to trash talk anybody, but they weren't as personable or cool, or and when people feel that you're not really genuinely there to entertain them and with your music and your live show, they can sense it, and I don't think it'll last too long being a jerk.
Yeah. So you guys have gotten to share the stage with a lot of big names. What were some of your favorite bands to share the stage with?
Well, I'd say the number one one, I think we learned a lot, was Seven Dust. And, just a great group of guys. And, they're definitely all about their live show. Morgan is just a phenomenal drummer and also a phenomenal showman. And being on tour with them, we took a lot of cues from those guys and watched them every night and studied them and learned how to kind of really we already worked on our live show, but man, they have a lot of charisma. And, I think we took a lot from that. Megadeth was like a childhood dream come true, meeting Dave Mustaine and hanging out with him after shows. It's just surreal. Mudvayne was, I could go on. I liked all of them, man. It was great. We played with Slash last year at their birthday on the same bill and got backstage passes. I got to watch Slash play from, the side stage, and that was another surreal moment. So we could talk all day about that, but I'd probably say we took the most from Seven Dust.
Yeah. And you guys have been around for a long time too. Your first record came out in what, 2003?
Mm-hmm.
What have you noticed as far as rock music and how much it's changed since you guys first came out?
Well, the money keeps getting smaller.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a minute when we had trouble with Web out that, servers were kind of cracking down on illegal downloading, and man, iTunes was really coming in. And then right around that record, everyone switched to Spotify, and you get, a percentage of a penny per play.
Yeah.
On there. And it's not nearly as much as what you make on iTunes, but it's getting more popular. It gets you out there, and instead of fighting it, we're kind of making do with it. Now, when we release a song, we might just do iTunes exclusive for 3 months and then get it to Spotify. But yeah, streaming's kind of dwindled the money again, like, from what it was. So it's kind of disappointing. And, labels came out with some crazy 360 deals, and it seems like they're lightening up on those, and we're getting offers. We're kind of leery on the label thing. We've been to several labels and how our rights taken from us and all our music bought from us. So we're not really keen on signing all our music away again.
Yeah.
But it's really an oddball time. I wouldn't know what to tell a young band what to do. I'm like, we got an investor on Charlton's Web, and that seemed to work on radio. So we had, money to do a radio campaign like a major label, but we were in control of everything, and that worked out great. But as far as new bands, it's kind of reshaping itself. And, they're offering 360 deals, and that's what every artist you hear is usually taking. That means they're taking their show money and their t-shirt money. A lot of labels, they're your merch company. So you co-own your merch with the label, and I am not doing that.
Yeah.
We make too much money off of, that's our bread and butter, our hoodies and t-shirts and Huggies and CDs and all that on our merch table. So, if you're young, sign with a label, I guess. I wouldn't know what to tell anybody young. It's an odd time. I think it's going to straighten itself out in the next few years, and there's going to be a new model, but I just wouldn't be able to tell you what that model is. We're staying away from a lot of the record deals right now. I mean, we got offered a Universal deal 4 or 5 years ago on Hell in My Heart. I was surprised. A major label came out after we just got off another label, and it went bankrupt. And the deal was so lopsided, we just literally could not sign it. There was no room for negotiation. They wouldn't change any of the numbers. So we're like, okay, we're not taking that deal.
Well, 20 years ago, a deal with Universal would have been huge, but I don't think it was
cool.
the same today.
Like, whoa.
Record labels are kind of dying.
We got the last of the old school record deals where they offered us like 6 figures up front, and it was just for your music. Yes, you signed, they own their masters and all that stuff, but as far as show and merch, they didn't touch any of that, and they put a lot of money into it. So it was a good risk,
Yeah.
But now even the advance they offered was, when you're 20 and someone offers some of the advances, you think, oh, wow, that's a lot of money. But, when you pay for the record, get some equipment with it, and split it 5 ways, and pay your manager and pay your business manager, everybody walks out with like $4,000 or something. It's not that much. So, at my age now, being through a couple record deals, man, it'd have to be a special deal to sign everything away.
Yeah, and a lot of the big labels that were around really aren't doing much these days.
No.
I've looked at some of their rosters, and they've got maybe a few bands and that's it.
Yeah. It's a tough time for rock, and a lot of radio stations are dying. I think active rock's having a tough time. Its influence wasn't what it was, say, in the 90s, early 2000s, when they all had their own X Fest. There was, 8 to 10,000 people, once a year for every active rock station. And a lot of them don't even hold big festivals anymore.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is they just kept the same formula, the same format since 1998. They're still forcing Disturbed, Green Day, Godsmack, and Chevelle and Papa Roach down your throat like they're brand new bands, and they're exciting to everyone, young kids, and they're not. I mean, when we play a lot of radio fest, like radio shit where acoustic, I mean, when they have callers call in, it's cool. A lot of them are just older people who were into that music, 20 years ago or 15 years ago. And they're hardly giving any new rock a chance. I mean, you got to fight to get on the playlist, especially a Clear Channel. It's difficult to get on those playlists, man. I mean, it's like the lottery if they fit you in, man. But they're dead set on playing those 5, 6 bands, and maybe Metallica. You hear all those bands all day anywhere in America for the last 10 years. It's been the same stuff. And I think it turns off a lot of young listeners. They don't have the same power that they used to.
Yeah. And, I write a blog on my website too, and I just did a blog about, new rock, and I was trying to really brainstorm about newer bands that are coming out. And there was really only a few that I could really think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That are really, good enough to mention. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's because I don't hear a whole lot of that because radio isn't playing it. Because there is good new rock out there.
They're going to satellite radio stations. They're going to, Pandora, because they can hear something they've never heard before. It's a strange concept to hear new music, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the 80s when record labels, once Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue all been sold, they would sign anybody that sang about sex or something with long hair and cowhide suspenders. And no matter how bad it was, they just regurgitated the same crap and signed so many bands. Even as a 13-year-old, I figured out their formula and quit buying whatever RCA was pushing at the time because it was all the same crap. And even in the death of butt rock, as it's called, then they were still signing some of those bands in the early 90s when Alice in Chains started taking over. They were still holding on to that formula, thinking they're going to push another, Motley Crue, rip-off band. And they were still holding on to it. And as the ship sunk, they were still sticking with that format. I feel like active rock stations as a whole across the nation, they're doing the same thing with, the same production, the same sounding formatted songs that they've been playing since 1999 or 2002. And it's dying, and they're sticking with it. As the ship goes down, they're sticking with the same format, like it's just all of a sudden going to blow up again. And it's just like, you got to change with the times.
What new bands are out right now that you think are pretty spectacular?
I like Red Fang, and I like Baroness. There's kind of a new influx. Mothership's pretty cool. Jimmy, what's the Canadian band? Is it Big Truck or is it Monster Truck? There's a new influx of all kinds of really cool, kind of stoner rock, kind of throwback 70s, but kind of heavy. It's almost like the genre's coming back with like kind of Black Sabbath guitars and really good vocals and out there lyrics. Kind of almost Clutch-esque bands.
Okay.
Maybe a little more commercial, but I love Baroness, man. And that kind of style rock, there's a whole genre of those bands that are kind of, out there touring on the road and touring Europe a lot. And, The Sword, I like them a lot. They've been around for a while, but they're in that kind of genre. And that genre's picking up, man. And on a club level and kind of a cool, edgy stoner guy thing, they're cool with people like that. If you can get those people back out to shows with that kind of rock, I think it would help. But I'm kind of in that genre. I like throwback stuff, and they use the amps I like, and it's a lot of Sabbath-esque, Zeppelin-style riffs. And I think all those bands are great, man.
Yeah, and I know when you guys toured with Orgy earlier this year, they had Death Valley High with them, and that's one of the bands that I mentioned that I think is pretty good. It's
Yeah, they're very
coming.
cool guys, man. They still come out, and we actually made really good friends with those guys, and they come out and meet us on the road when they're out, traveling, or when we get to California, they come out, man. Really cool guys.
Yeah, I like those guys a lot. They're really cool. And then I've recently got to see Islander. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I have heard of them, but I'm not completely familiar with them.
They've got a bit of a like a late '90s, early 2000s sort of new metal sound to them.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw them in Cleveland recently, and I couldn't believe how few people were at the show. And I've been noticing that a lot with shows, like club level shows, that there's not a whole lot of people coming out. Do you see that a lot?
Absolutely, it is. It's a problem. It's affected it. Like I said, radio didn't have the same power it did, and the clubs. I mean, one of the best clubs in the country is the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
And he has a cool bar. It has a theme. There's motorcycles hanging off the walls. He has good, solid national acts. 3-4 times a week. You can't they don't let any band in there to play. If you're a local and he wants to put you on a bill, they have a tryout night Monday. A lot of these clubs, man, they cover their costs. They'll just get 4 local bands that, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but they're absolutely abysmal. They're playing metal poorly. They're a lot of Cookie Monster vocals, and it just doesn't make sense. And you got 4 hours of bands that aren't very good, and they run all the people out. People go to one show like that, and this sucks. I have to sit through 4 hours of this to see a band that's on tour that I want to see. And, the club owners want to put you on at 11 o'clock or midnight on a Wednesday and say, no normal person with a job wants to be in a dingy bar at 1 a.m. to see their favorite band on a Monday. It's stupid. It doesn't work. And that's a lot of clubs are doing that, and they need to pay to play so they get all these novice bands to pay for all the tickets. Sometimes the bands buy the tickets most of the time themselves, so people really don't show up anyway. And it's poorly run rock clubs that are just putting bad entertainment on and not having a clue about it. And, there's some great clubs in America, but there's a lot of them that do that. And it's just like, why would I take my girlfriend out, want to have a beer through 4 hours of out-of-tune guitar being played and the guy screaming, not putting on a show? It doesn't make sense. Who would go watch that? I don't know anybody that particularly likes to go sit around for 4 hours like that. Either. Now, I've had people want to leave the show to wait for us. I can't make it through the 4 or 5 hours of bad local openers. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I understand where they're at. So there's a lot of clubs that are just poorly run like that, and they do it to themselves. And then when you get there, there's no in-house crowd. It's like not a cool place to hang out anyway. So you don't have just people who don't even know your band. When I was younger in the 90s, man, there was clubs that had punk rock Wednesday, then there'd be a ska band, then there'd be a metal band on Friday, then there'd be kind of a stoner rock band Saturday, then there'd be a hip hop group on Sunday. It was called Gumby's back in the day, in the 90s in West Virginia. I didn't even look at the schedule. It was a cool place to hang out. The bartenders were cool. It was a nice big crazy rock club. And I would just pay money, didn't care who was on the bill, just to be surprised about what musical act, traveling, independent artists. Sometimes it was big artists. Kid Rock played there once. Sometimes it was like indie artists that were on label to travel and were really good bands. And I didn't care. I just paid the money here. Who's here tonight? Let's go see it. It was always cool and something different. Even if I didn't like the genre, the band was good at what they did and they were entertaining. And I don't hardly see that. It's hard for an independent artist to even tour now.
Yeah.
I mean, those indie labels were able to send those artists out and people would go see it. It was the 90s, support your local music era. And that's long gone now, man. It sucks.
Yeah, and I'm glad I'm not the only one to notice that, because I notice anytime I go to a show, you got all these local openers. Half of them are terrible.
Yeah.
But the club's pushing them because they know that, that their fans are going to buy the tickets or whatever, their friends or their parents or whatever are going to buy the tickets. So it's less work that the club and the promoter has to do.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to these promoters and it's like, man, if you were a comedy club and you were trying to bring Dave Chappelle in, why would you bring in, 3 or 4 hours of comedians that were not funny or were terrible and torture the audience before he came on for like 5 hours straight. It's like, well, I don't understand why you think why you would do that. And unfortunately, it's a lot of clubs in America that just do this format. I mean, it's pushed to the point that I want to talk to my girlfriend. We're going to get a lien on our house and open our own rock club and do it right, you know?
Yeah. I've actually thought about that myself because I do some concert promotions and, you know, I do it the right way. Like I'll buy radio ads and all that stuff. And these clubs just don't do that, you know?
No.
Especially if they've got some, you know, some one-hit wonder from the 90s playing. They figure, well, I'm not going to sell tickets for this. Let's get a bunch of locals on the bill, have them push the tickets.
Right.
That's not the way to do it.
A lot of there are some great promoters that I'm personally friends with from here all over the nation. But a lot of them, man, are gamblers. And sometimes you'll have a promoter do a radio ad, put a lot of time into it, and then the next time he doesn't do anything for the show, just, you know, crosses his fingers and hopes people show up and he makes money and he doesn't want to put the money into it. And, you know, you got to find the right promoters because some of them, they're just gamblers and they're just hoping that you put enough Facebook posts up that it'll draw 300 people through Facebook. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And there's some great guys. We've actually done some promoting shows ourselves, and we started working with all the NBC affiliates and buying ads on television, and that helped in Columbus. We sold out the Al Rose stuff. We usually do well there anyway. That's one of our biggest markets. But we did our own television ad and sold it out and probably drew an extra 200 or 300 people through television. That's kind of a new thing we're experimenting with and talking to promoters. Okay, hey, let's do a radio ad and do so many 30-second spots in 4 counties on the NBC affiliate when Jimmy Kimmel's on or Saturday Night Live. And it seems like it's really helping.
Well, that's a smart idea. Advertising definitely will, you know, it helps with, you know, pulling people for the shows.
Yep. And then you get promoters who are fighting with the radio station. I don't work with them anymore, man. And a lot of times they don't pay their bill, and then they just never speak to the radio station again. I go, well, you can't be a rock promoter and hate the local station and be at war with them. It's not going to help your shows.
Yeah, because, I mean, another good way to promote, too, is, you know, the morning shows on the radio, booking some of the guys that are doing shows at your club to do interviews. Right. You know, that pulls a lot of people in as well. I used to work on a morning show, and, you know, we'd promote the hell out of stuff doing that.
That's what I was saying. Active Rock's having a ton of time, but I'll tell you what, you know, all the stations you support Bobaflex from Wisconsin to Ohio, the one thing that they really do a good job with, you go and you play acoustic, you have a relationship, you try to get spins, and when you do, it helps your shows. Yeah. And that's when I get annoyed with some promoters. I'm like, we're going to get a rich station. They go, oh, I hate that guy. Well, it's the main form of promotion in your city, man. You can't not like the dude, or it's just, it doesn't make sense. We deal with that a good bit more than you imagine. And, but you can't do that. We go in, we promote our single, and we promote our show, and it makes people come to the show. Yeah. You have to be a part of, you have to work with them, man. And like I said, man, some of these rock promoters, they don't get that. Half the time ago, I hate those guys, man. I was like, well, there's going to be 16 people there then. Yeah. Good job.
What's your opinion on the decline of sales of physical copies of albums?
You know, the live shows, it really helps. We kind of go through CD Baby. We used to go through Megaforce for distribution, but we still put them in some stores. Basically, it's something for the live shows. I think we're going to try actually printing singles for this new single and see if that helps our numbers a bit. But it's not what it used to be. I mean, I remember being out with 7 Dust and selling 80 to 100 CDs a night. And it used to be a thing, and it's almost the CDs. It's still a thing. It's not quite the 8-track yet. So we kept wondering, when do we abandon ship and quit ordering CDs? But our fans want that physical copy. A lot of them do. Some of them already downloaded off iTunes. They just want the CD for us to sign it and like put it in a plaque or have a keepsake from the show. Yeah. So I think we're gonna do vinyl on this album, or maybe do an older album that's like Hell of My Heart and really Spotify that record. It's our biggest record. So I think we're gonna do that. It was with vinyl for whatever reason. It takes 16 weeks to make an order of vinyl.
Oh wow.
I was like, what? It takes about 4 to get CDs ordered. So it's not a big deal, but yeah, man, you got to plan in advance for vinyl. And we went to multiple vinyl companies, and all of them 16 weeks. I'm like, what are you going to do? Take it up to a wizard on a mountain somewhere and do that and have them make them? Like, what magic has to happen in 16 weeks to make records? I don't know, but apparently it takes everyone 16 weeks.
Takes 16 weeks to cut those grooves.
Something. There's some intricate shit going on there. I don't know what it is, but it takes a while.
I like having physical copies. Like I've got so many CDs and vinyl and all that stuff, and I like when I go to a show, I like buying the CD there and having the band sign it and stuff, and hang it on my wall.
Yeah,
same here. There's still older people like me that like to do that, but I was recently in it was an FYE Music, and it's mostly toys and novelty stuff now, and they have like one small rack, and there was a young couple in there, and the girl was looking at CDs, and the guy was bitching about it, saying, I don't know why you don't just download it from iTunes. And I looked at him, and I said, that's what's wrong with your generation.
Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend still buys CDs. I have to admit, I don't buy them anymore. And I get in trouble with iTunes because it's so easy, and people steal songs. I'm like, dude, you don't want to spend 99 cents on your favorite band. It's $1 for the song, man. Come on.
Yeah.
But my problem is if I get inebriated, I'll wake up in the morning and look at the damage, and I'll end up, buying a Kiss box set for $40 at 3 a.m. off of iTunes. I've done that several times on my phone. There's like 2 box sets that inebriated. I made a decision it was a good idea to go ahead and buy every Waylon Jennings song ever.
Yeah, there's been plenty of times I've been on eBay late at night buying like every new metal CD from the 90s, Yeah. The stuff that was big when I was in high school,
You have Shazam, because that's another one that gets me to Shazam something. It'll take me right to iTunes. I'll hear a song at the gym I like. Occasionally the gyms are good across the nation. You'll have like a rock gym, and they'll have it on the rock station the whole time, man. And I ended up buying, what did I buy? I bought the new Queensryche. I'm like, this song's good. I'll Shazam something, and bam, they got me. That's why before Spotify got popular, man, our iTunes really, it's good, but more people do Spotify than they do iTunes. And you can't blame them. They spend like, $10 a month, and they have a library of all the music that Spotify has.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense, but I personally, I listen to Pandora, but if I like something, I buy it. It's because I'm a musician, and I feel that that's the right thing to do. And if it's an album, and it's $10, I'm poor, and I can still buy an album from time to time. I'm a struggling musician, and I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't see why other people don't.
Yeah, and if I want to hear new music, I'll go on YouTube and I'll sample it. If I like it, I'll go out and buy it.
Right. Yeah, I use YouTube like that too.
Yeah, I don't really use Pandora or Spotify. Sometimes if I want a variety of music with no commercials, I'll put on iHeartRadio. But for the most part, I like to listen to an album all the way through. Yeah,
because I look at my little iTunes setup. It's digital. I look at it like my record collection.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty big music geek, and if I see something, I do need all the Led Zeppelins just to say that I have them.
Yeah.
In case I feel like playing an obscure Led Zeppelin song, I own it.
So, you've mentioned like Led Zeppelin and Kiss. What are some of your musical influence? I'm guessing they're some of them.
Yep. Kiss, Zeppelin. I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan, and my brother, big Guns N' Roses heads. Anything they do, I'll buy. Big Cruise fan. It was the first big arena concert I ever saw, so I was pretty much traumatized into liking them for life. And who else? Really a lot of 70s rock. We still listen to a lot of 70s rock on the bus. Pretty much everything. When we're writing a record, I literally have pop, hip hop. I listen to some R&B, and the older I get, it seems like I listen to more genres than I did when I was a kid.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I listen. Fans will be like, you listen to, that. I was like, look, man, I don't sit around. I love Iron Maiden, but I don't just sit around listening to Iron Maiden 24/7.
Yeah. So you mentioned pop. Do you listen to a lot of modern pop?
From time to time, and sometimes I just study the songs. If something's so catchy I can't get out of my head, I may not like the artist, but I'll go listen to it, and or I'll buy a song and listen to it over and over and go, whoa, the chords and the arrangement, and you can apply it back to rock. So, and then same with, me and Tommy, if we are in the mood, we'll drink and we're going to grill out today after we get out of the gym and probably pop in some, Anthony Hamilton and various other artists. And I try to keep it versatile just because you can get stagnant. You listen to the same stuff all the time. You're just going to regurgitate it basically.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people that are rock fans that'll bash the modern pop, and I'm like, but some of it's really good.
Some of it's really good.
It's catchy.
It's called pop. It's fluffy, and it's meant to be go in one ear and out the other. Everything doesn't have to be some introspective, deep, dark song that takes 2 years to figure out in your head.
Yeah.
It's just it's intentionally supposed to be light listening. I mean, I love Tool too, but I can't always listen to Tool and prison sex all the time.
Yeah.
Or listen to, and I like lyrics that are vague and weird and creepy, and I don't know. So sometimes I enjoy rock songs where it freaks me out. I'm like, what the hell is this song about?
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't know and it's weird, dark, vague lyrics, and what's he talking about? I think he's a serial killer. I dig that kind of writing a lot. But sometimes, I want to hear something light and stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, rock and roll was originally invented to be light popping, stupid and quick. You got Johnny B. Good and Elvis, Jailhouse Rock. It was meant to be kind of fun and quick.
Yeah. And then all the prog bands came out and kind of stuck up their middle fingers at that.
And we listen to Rush. We got several guys that know every Rush song, and our drummer Tommy's a big Steely Dan fan. He loves that stuff. I'd say if you listen to what we all listen to, everyone's, the more inebriated I get, then I go to old country by 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Or a really sappy ballad that I'll be too embarrassed to admit on this podcast.
So you guys are coming back this way soon in the next few weeks. I think I saw December 22nd. You guys will be in Akron, Ohio. Is that correct?
Yep.
At the Empire.
That's one of the tour.
Nice. So I'm going to try to make it out to that show. Definitely. Okay. It's been great having you on the show, Shaun. I had a great conversation with you.
Been a blast, man.
And you said February you'll be dropping that new single?
Yep.
Awesome,
like last week of February.
Awesome. I look forward to hearing it. Anything you want to plug, like your website, social media, anything like that?
Yeah, just officialbobaflex.com for everything. You can order T-shirts, everything. Go to iTunes, get us, Spotify us. That's about it, man.
All right, man. Thank you very much for coming on the show, man.
All right, Brandon. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Later.
Sick of your bullshit, getting kinda sick of your lies. Crocodile tears in the clothespin. Trust me, honey, that ain't no surprise. You could use an attitude adjustment, something that'll bring you to your knees. Maybe we should leave it in the dust. It's busted, baby, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Want you to know my heart's been broke before. Don't you cry as I'm walking out the door. Baby, can't you see your love's been killing me? Dry your eyes as I'm walking out the door. Maybe it's the pills and the cocaine. Maybe it's evil in your brain. Don't think I can take another blood stain. Fool me as I'm walking out the door. Baby, can't you see your love's been killing me? Dry your eyes as I'm walking out the door. Want you to know my heart's been broke before. Don't you cry as I'm walking out the door. Don't you cry as I'm walking out the door.
All right, that was a great interview there with Shaun. It's always good to hear these guys talk about the downside of the music industry. You're always hearing some of the bigger name artists that will come out and talk about all the upsides, you know, the money, the cars, the girls, but you never really hear that downside of it from, you know, the bands that aren't selling, you know, 5,000 to 8,000 copies of their albums and playing arenas and stuff. So it's really cool to hear, you know, that you don't make a whole lot of money off the streaming services, which is something that everyone pretty much already knows, but they don't really get to hear and see the realities of it. So it was really cool. And I kind of feel bad I didn't get to one question that I really wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him about his family history. As you guys may not know, he's actually related to the famous McCoys from West Virginia, of the Hatfield and McCoy fame, the big rivalry that almost started a war between West Virginia and Kentucky. So maybe I'll get to that the next time I interview him. Hopefully I'll get to that next month when they're in Akron. All right, well, that is it for this week. Once again, I'm going to mention the show December 16th at Chippers in Youngstown, Ohio. We've got 713 BC, the David G. Ward Project, Matt Skeen, B&L Marks, and of course my brother Ryan will be on that show as well. So definitely going to be a cool show, a lot of cool acoustic music. Come on out and say hi. I'll be hanging out, probably drinking some beer. Well, more than likely I'll be drinking beer because that's what I do when I go to these shows. If you're online, make sure you go to BrandynChaos.com. Definitely check out the top 25 albums of 2016 as well as the Future of Rock article. And as always, Brandyn Chaos on Facebook, The Midnight Hour with Brandyn Chaos on Facebook as well. And of course, we're on Twitter and Instagram. It's Brandyn_Chaos. So we'll see you guys again next week.
I'm on a downward spiral, confused and drenched in fear.